Hi, Face World. This is Cindy, and we're in Amsterdam. Duncan is holding the camera. Say hi, Duncan.
I can take one of you guys.
He just said hello, Duncan. Today's subject is not everything has to be profound, and I'm not saying that in a way where that is profound, but if it is profound for you, that's your subjective experience. So the reason why we chose this topic is Duncan was reading a Facebook status of a mutual friend, and he was, it's Burning Man season, so everyone's just like, oh, I'm holding this intention, and this is what I want to bring forward in my life, and this is what I want to let go of, and blah blah blah, and I just want to laugh my butt off, but it takes so much energy laughing at so much of that, because believe me, my world is inundated with all that stuff. So I just roll my eyes because that takes less effort. And it just reminds me, actually, Duncan, this morning when we were talking to the friend that we're staying with in Amsterdam, we were talking about a mutual friend who has seen the light and wears crystals and all this other stuff, and it's like coming to this so much context setting, so much of I'm going to assume this identity of someone who is spiritual, and everything in every single given moment is profound, that there is actually absolutely no content or substance to that person. Do you want to say more about that?
Just a sec. First of all, I just want to show you a little bit of this place we're at, 'cause it's so profoundly beautiful. We're just looking at these boats going past. We've got the sun streaming down. Doesn't that look like a god ray right there or something? And then we've got all the way down here, and then we've got like some sort of little thing over there. I don't know what's going on over there. And now you can look at me. I've got such a spiritual beard. This thing, it seems like a phase that people go through. I went through this phase where everything had to be profound and spiritual, and then I realized that everything is. So I can't help doing this thing, okay, and I'm really sorry, but I'm going to say that not everything is profound, because everything is profound, which means then I'm being weird and profound, and then Cindy's going, "Ah!" because it's just annoying. It's just really annoying. But, yeah, that's a good face. The thing is, it's like life is just life. The most profound things in life are the simplest things. Just really dumb, everyday. Like the fact I can't think of what to say right now is awesome.
It's so profound.
It's so profound. It's so alive. It's so real. I'm here with you right now, and I don't have any crystals. I actually don't own any crystals, as far as I'm aware.
And we don't have like really gigantic intentions to save the world, and to hone you into what is happening right here.
Oh yeah, and we don't want to hone anybody. Actually, this is making me think about how when I was younger, I thought I had to quit my job and go and do something really meaningful. I had to go and change the world, right? I had to make a profound impact on the world. I had to put a dent in the universe. And it turns out that the universe is actually perfect the way it is. I actually knew that at the time, but I still felt that somehow I had to put a dent in it. And now I'm realizing that it's a wonderful thing to just live your life and to get by day to day and to increase your self-awareness and to have meaningful, healthy, happy relationships,
which, by the way, is inspiring.
Which is inspiring, because when it comes down to it, there's someone over here watching. She thinks it's profound that we're doing this right now. We're on Facebook Live.
Or
hello.
She thinks it's funny.
She thinks it's funny or something. We don't know. They find it very interesting. We're like in a zoo or something. So yeah, it's like everything is. It's inspiring, because people want to live lives. People are living lives. Oh, Cindy wants the thing back. Okay, here we go. Oh, she's switching.
check it out. Amsterdam Canal.
Wait, I just want these people to wave. Can you wave to all the people on Facebook? No, on this one, right here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I am so guilty of someone who crafts the way I say things so that it could be profound, because I do want to make some sort of impact, just as Duncan said. And I'm totally guilty of that. And as I get older and I'm getting less of that pull of, oh, I'm here, and the way to get validation or the way to be recognized in the world is to save it, that's kind of getting cut down a little bit, simply because I know that I'm not going to be happier that way, and by my efforting to do that, I don't even know if I'm actually making the world by efforting to make it that way. And so I'm kind of stepping away from, this is tying back to what you were trying to get me to talk about earlier. So it's tying back to me stepping away from these profound and spiritual communities who are constantly, going through transformations and self-help and all this stuff. And I just want to have a normal life where I have my partner, and we travel, and we have good sex, and we eat, and we do work that we enjoy. And when we are in community, we're just shooting the shit with our friends and enjoying ourselves and doing activities that we enjoy with each other. And it's not just this thing where we're sitting around and processing all the time. That's no longer interesting to me. And I'm not saying that as a way to cut down the inner work that we need to do. I think that's also completely vital and important, and in fact just vital. And but can we do that and not forsake living our lives? Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
That makes sense. You can read the comments. Actually, what do you think? What do you think of this format where we hand the camera back and forward like this? Do you like it? Are you cold? I feel this thing where I used to have this thing about trying to be authentic all the time, just being myself, and then I really got into spiritual stuff and spiritual communities, and I started being really weird, and I have these memories of being at work. Actually, I don't know if I've told these stories before, but it's kind of funny to tell the stories. I remember I put all these pictures of like Ganesha and Lakshmi and all kinds of other people on my cube walls, and I was an engineering manager in this big company, and people would come by to my cube, and it's just this weird kind of this white guy who's trying to be Indian or something, and none of that really is relevant to me, really. I mean, all that I was doing was I was meditating, and I was increasing my self-awareness, and my life was changing, but all of that stuff isn't really what I am. And the epitome of it, which is the thing that I'm really kind of embarrassed of, was on our Fridays when you dress up and you wear like different clothes and stuff. And one Friday I wore an Indian wedding gown made of like silk and stuff, and I wore it because I think I was just trying to be funny, but at the same time I think I was also being kind of this weird, pompous, arrogant, spiritual thing. And my manager came in to me, and he was talking to me, and then all of a sudden he looked at me and what I was wearing, and he said, "Duncan." I was like, "Yeah." And he said, "What are you wearing?" And I felt a little bit embarrassed at the time, but I knew I was only kind of kidding, but at the same time I really didn't look like a weirdo. And the thing is, I remember actually this thing that I learned from a friend was the idea of don't be weird. Just don't be weird. You know? Because I have a tendency to be weird, and what happens is people get really weirded out by it, and I don't need to be weird. I actually have to try to be weird, you know? Cindy's nodding. Wait, do you want to switch back to Cindy? Back to Windy. Here you go.
I guess the last thing I want to say about this, and it has to do with what Duncan just said, is if you're profound, it's because it's comes naturally to you, or is if there's if there's depth, it comes naturally. And I just want to offer people who are doing a lot of inner work, a lot people who are really just going out there and doing a ton of body work and therapy and just a ton of self-transformation work, to just notice whether or not you're communicating or conveying yourself in a way that is really authentic to you versus an image that you're trying to portray. Because I understand when profoundness becomes an identity or spirituality becomes an identity. We live in the San Francisco Bay Area, so we know it so well. But just notice to which degree does this you're asking something, or you're setting an intention or trying to create something mostly because you want to, because there is like a strong desire, and you could just come out and say, hey, I really want my friends to come and get together and like just clearly understand like why we're all doing this, so that we can like go and do it, instead of just crafting this one big spiritual woo-woo thing. And I totally get that I'm putting down that kind of identity, and I don't really mean to, because I also love those people, but just noticing how can you get even more real with that? Can you get even more true? It's kind of crazy out here. There's like a boat buildup, kind of like a boat traffic jam. It's kind of pretty cool. And by this point, people are so drunk and high. There's tension. Someone's gonna go overboard. Hopefully we'll catch it on camera. So, do you have any last thing to say? So, I think the overview of what we wanted to talk about today is not everything is profound. Not everything has to be profound. And notice where you are needing some sort of validation in your life versus, hey, I just want to enjoy my life as it is, and I don't need to be any certain kind of way in order to get my validation needs met. That's it. And that's me, Cindy, and Duncan signing off.